come to retrieve my long lost redneck pre-runner.
Your long lost redheaded stepchild.
Yes, that everybody thinks that I don't have or forgets about.
I'm excited.
We are here to retrieve said beast. We will get into it, but yes, we are in California. One last little tire pressure check.
Ever since you told me you could just float over curbs, everyone I see, I just want to hit.
Oh, you?
I just want to hit.
It's not a matter of. It's not a matter of. It's like I just try it. Go ahead.
I'm going to. It's just like everyone I see, I'm like, I want to hit you.
This right here, like this right here, no, doesn't matter. That's not an actual curb to this vehicle. It's all right. Don't look too hard. It's just a pre-runner. What is going on, my friends? Welcome back to another video. If you can't tell by the scenery, we are definitely not in Kentucky anymore. Cole and I have flown this morning. We were up bright and early. I mean, way up past.
4:30 is early for us.
4 o'clock in the morning is early for us. Trekked from Nashville to LAX. Got picked up by our man Andrew from CJC Off-Road. And we have got the Redneck Pre-Runner back in action. And in one of Cole and I's famously great ideas, we are about to trek this truck 2,000 miles back home to Kentucky. So last time you guys saw this thing, it was flying, soaring through the air like a majestic bird, and really we had to bounce. Our time here was kind of up and over. We were actually going to drive it home at the end of that, but we had a lot of stuff going on for other videos back home schedule wise, so we just kind of left it, and we are now finally back out here. And with this 20-plus-year-old truck, it does at least have air conditioning, but we do not have a whole lot of history with a lot of miles with this truck. So I'm not even going to say anything further about, you know, oh, what? Go ahead.
What could possibly go wrong?
What, I can't think of a single thing that could possibly go wrong. So that is exactly what we are about to find out, and we are about ready to get this party started. It is Friday
At 12:11.
12:11 this time. So it is roughly 30 hours back home. The longest trek that either of us have done by far. And you know, I have all the faith in the world. Oh yeah, that was a.
Oh, that's a dang.
That's a. Okay, all right. Yeah. Well, instead of talking to you guys in this parking lot in Long Beach, we are going to start pounding some miles. Cole's going to take the first shift because that airplane ride this morning just about knocked me out. We've got a multi-piece dash. We've got a head unit that sometimes wants to flip over. We're waiting on it to start working. We've got a window that doesn't love to roll back up. But you know what? We have got a license plate that is 100% valid. Well, yeah, I think we have our first casualty.
For whoever's in the passenger.
It's really cold on that side. It's really not cold on this side. Oh, what a bargain. It's $4.99. Well, we are praying that this solves all of our problems because it is getting toasty.
Oh yeah, look at that. She's a little low, brother.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, now it's going in. She was still low, though, not her.
Oh, I assume she was.
She's going now.
Man, I hope. It's getting hot in there.
Besides, it's definitely a little colder than it was before, I feel like.
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh yeah.
Had to stop and take a glorious picture here. We wouldn't just take one right there. That'd be silly. Now this is more like a picture spot right here. Yep, there it is. That's a great spot for a picture.
I think you needed more love, but I agree.
Well, it doesn't really seem real. I don't think you guys can get a real good perspective. Looks like we kind of just plopped it up there. This is what we need, Cole.
Yes, I completely
That's what we need.
Matching?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe we can put a Cummins in it.
I agree.
Well, we've made it another hour in our trip, and we couldn't let the non-working Big Boss radio slide, so we may have stopped at Wally World, got distracted yet again, and we were hoping to find a radio that would just plug in. That way we didn't have to rewire anything, and you can see exactly how that is going. So
For us, huh?
we've got some butt connectors. We've got our wiring station hooked up.
It'll get redone when we get back, okay?
Yeah. Oh, stop. I mean, one big jump later, it'll have to come back out.
At that point.
When we redo the dash, that's, But anyway, we're, how many? I think we're 24 hours
We're
left.
24 hours left. We've gone 5 without a radio, so
It's a little painful listening to Cole and I just blab at each other. So, oh, I see colors. Power acoustic.
yeah, we spent big money on this one.
We did upgrade.
Yeah, we did upgrade. Which one do we want? Portuguese?
English. America.
Or the 464 singing.
Guys, as you can see, we have made it back home to Kentucky with our redneck pre-runner. Now, how did the trip go? I did not do a very good job of picking up the camera to kind of keep you guys updated. Really, not that much went on, but we do have a lot to go over on how the truck fared, really from, I guess, the desert trip and the 2,000 plus mile trek back home. I didn't do a very good job picking up the camera because the flight out there just absolutely rocked me. Like, I had like the worst headache I think I've ever had in my life. So it was pretty rough the drive home, but we made it home. The truck did absolutely fantastic, but we do have quite a bit to address. There are some things going on with it, and I want to keep you guys updated on the truck in general, but we're going to pull it in the shop, but we are back. That's where we're kind of restarting the second half of this video. Also, this right here, we got to do something with this. It's driving me nuts. Our big jump did happen to come down the hardest on this side, and our fender gap here, it has been compromised. I do have to pull the giveaway truck out of the way, but it's been inside staying nice and cozy for you guys. If you haven't already gotten entered for the giveaway truck, 28,000 mile G56 loaded Laramie, absolutely insane. If you guys haven't gotten entered, I would do so very, very quickly. By the time this video goes up, we are getting very, very close to only 2 weeks left, almost halfway through the giveaway. Take a look. This is my new favorite shirt. If you guys haven't been on the website, you haven't checked it out, and if you guys, honestly, it doesn't matter, Ford, Chevy, GM, doesn't matter what kind of diesel you like, diesel fuel only. We got the green handle pump shirt back in stock. We did restock it. Now, if you made it to this point of the video, we did load up and have in stock very, very, and I'm not even joking with you, very limited quantities of sweatshirts. And I don't think they're gonna be restocked before the end of the giveaway. So there's your sneak peek. If you want a diesel fuel only green handle sweatshirt, highly recommend you go do it now, because once they're gone, I don't think they're gonna be coming back. But not even probably. This is my new favorite shirt. This is my new favorite shirt. So if you guys need a shirt recommendation, there's my new fave. But guys, if you haven't gotten entered, perfect time to go do so. Go check out that stuff. Appreciate you guys as always. Go get entered to win this truck, plus the 10 grand that it comes with. All right, people are just driving too fast nowadays. You know, we need to put a speed bump in the shop. Let's fire up the old 5.9. Don't mind the Baja Designs light bar wiring. We do need to do that, but that is not what I'm getting at. I think that does it justice. I think we can no longer save this thing, and we can now approve of its being thrown away. Let's get to what actually matters here. Let's go underneath the hood. So one thing I want to get out of the way while we're doing all this stuff is that I don't even remember the last time any of this has been maintenanced. Oil change, fuel filters, I don't remember, and if I don't remember, it's probably been a lot longer than I care to admit. So we are going to drop the oil out of this thing. And one thing that I kind of joke and laugh about is when, and I feel like this is kind of like a common thing, once people get fuel systems put on their truck, air dog, what have you, I feel like people forget that they still need to change those filters on the air dogs or basically aftermarket lift pump systems. You still have filters that you need to change, but like, I feel like when you're in a stock truck, you're like, all right, and my go-to is every other oil change. It's probably a little repetitive, depending on how long you go on your services, but usually every other oil change you do fuel filters. Well, once you get like an air dog, you're like, man, these filters, like I don't even know. So with that, we need to change the air dog filters because we just went through a heavy desert day, went through 2,000 miles. This thing needs some TLC, needs some love. All right. Don't even lie. When is the last time you even drained your water separator on your fuel system? Huh? Yep. Don't lie to yourself. I'm not saying I'm any better. I'm just saying this is your reminder. Last couple air dog systems that we have installed. You guys have seen me kind of mount these things up underneath the bed, kind of like right in this section. Now, from our off-road day, you can see that we have got quite a bit of dirt and grime and debris kind of like right in that area. So I can only imagine what it would be like if it was down here, but that tire definitely does tend to shoot a little bit right there. But as far as the old filters go, this one had a little bit of mud, like right at the base. But I guess I could see something going all the way up there, but man, it was pretty well protected, I'm not gonna lie. I do think that it's still a pretty dang good spot. And if you are that worried about something hitting it, you're gonna have to try a lot harder than all the way up there. But you can see some mud did get all the way up there. You could run a little blocker shield on those filters if you wanted to, just kind of straight down. But overall, location placement, not bad at all. So we'll go give her a couple bumps, get her primed up. We're gonna let the oil drain here while we address the next couple topics here. So a couple things that I want to address here. If you guys heard in the first little clip here when we were running over the radio, not sure if you hear it or not, again, audio of the camera, this thing is more clacky and rattly than I originally thought the unicorn truck was way back. Like this thing just sounds like straight loose valve train, and I don't think I've ever checked the valve lash on this truck. So again, part of kind of maintenance routine, I'm not exactly sure what your service bulletin says there, but I'm pretty sure it says every 100,000 miles, maybe every year or two. I mean, most people are like inside their engines more than that, I guess, but if you haven't checked your valve lash and truck's got over 100,000 miles and you've never done it, a real easy way to know if I've ever touched it or not is I usually always take a paint pen and I go on the top dead center mark. That way it's easier to see from the top side. This truck, when I was underneath there doing the oil change, does not have any mark on it, so I'm pretty sure that I've never checked it. We're gonna go ahead and do that too as well while the oil is draining. Now, one big thing that I want to mention, not really the easiest thing to see, a little while ago on this truck specifically, we did the Fleece Performance transmission cooler kit and line kit that they came out with. And we did it a little while ago. We did our test. We said that it was amazing and great, but we never really had a ton of miles on it. And what happened during the trip, and I wish I would have videoed a little bit more specifically, but it was like 100 degrees, maybe 110 coming out of California on some of those big inclines, sitting still traffic. And I've been in similar situations, not necessarily with this truck, but with similar trucks over the years. And automatic trans temps, with it being that hot ambiently, is that a word? Ambient, just hot air with no movement. That's what I'm trying to get at in my own perfect language. But no air movement, fan clutch probably working its butt off, 110 degrees. That is like peak you are gonna get hot trans temp. No air movement, it's not good. You're really relying on the actual cooler to dissipate heat as best as it possibly can. Now, like I've said, I've seen trans temps in that similar situation, 210, 220, even 230 before, and there's really not much that you can do about it. I've actually, it's kind of funny now that I'm referencing this, I've actually had somebody come up to me at a show at Rod Run when it was really hot. They're like, I'm sitting in Rod Run traffic after either getting on it or whatever, after the truck's been running a while, and they're like, man, my trans temp just kept creeping up, probably on a stock cooler setup. This Fleece Performance cooler, and there's no reason in this video for me to even mention this other than it kicks that much ass, like straight up. This transmission cooler kit, while you may not think that the size-wise is much different, even though it is a little bit bigger than the factory size cooler, this core is insane. Like the trans temp sitting in traffic was never over 180 or 190. And as soon as you get air movement across that thing, man, you're talking 130s, 140s. Like, I will stand on the smallest hill, the biggest hill. Like, that cooler is insane. Like, it is worth every penny. I know you guys work super hard for your dollar bills, and there are other cooler kits out there that are maybe a little bit cheaper, but made in the USA, 100% made in the USA cooler. Like, that core is insane. One other thing that I wanted to check is from our jump to the moon and back and our long trip. I mean, you can see this air filter is seen better days, but you can see my stainless diesel boost tester kit out, and I want to just double check that we don't have any boost leaks. We did put this Evil Fab kit on a little while ago, but just from all of the movement on that jump, I just want to make sure we don't have any boost leaks. Also, by the way, Evil Fab discount code still going on. I would highly recommend you get it because he did give me an end date, and it is very soon. So if you want Evil Fab stuff, discount code, I'll put it here. Go check it out. I get it now because it is going to be going away.
Not sure how we got so lucky to find Top Dead Center pointed directly down at us, but you can see right there, TDC, Top Dead Center.
Interesting enough, you know, I'm not afraid to share failures here. If you look inside here, you see that ring? Yeah, that's dust, dirt. Also, yes, dust, also known as dirt. These these two clamps were not as tight as they should have been, and that is why you check clamps. Clamps don't stay tight forever. Yeah, like I mean, it's very fine. Oh man, that looks a little kind of like little media blasted in there. If you can't tell, like just take the fin of this blade. See how I just like cleaned a little bit of that off? That's dust, like that is dirt particles getting inside, like even inside of like that nut. Like look at I'm not by the way, I'm not proud of this. I'm just sharing so it doesn't happen to you guys, because not everybody likes to share their failures. Oh crap. Yeah, let's focus on that. Dang it, that is not good. All right, so I'm sure this is extreme worst case scenario because we were driving this thing in the desert for, oh wow, look at that. Is that whole thing moved, didn't it? Because I painted that, and then did that slide off? Ooh. Some things and stuff have shifted right here. Look at that. That boot was not like that. And that right there, my friends, looks like enough of a pinhole for me to say that thing's gonna have a boost leak right there. Alrighty, here we go. 30 PSI. Oh yeah. I'm actually kind of afraid that might even pop off. Where is that coming? Oh, it's actually coming from underneath. Found it. Found the ducks. Ducks are quacking. Well, there goes the duck. Hey, look, I found another duck. That one. Woo! Kind of thought that might happen. So, that looks like it actually pulled it almost out of the clamp, and then, well, that broke the clamp right there, George. As you can see, I kind of have our intercooler pipe completely disconnected now. I have a new boot and a new clamp, and our boost tester hooked up to the intercooler, so kind of just disregarding this entire part and starting from the intercooler over into the engine. Now, depending on where the valves are, you are going to hear some noise like flowing through the area of the cylinder head, but what we're after is just try to see if this boot or possibly even this intake gasket or these two gaskets right here are making any noticeable noise. Kind of got the mini compressor here because it's a little easier. Got about 40 pounds in there, and we will see. I don't hear anything, but we're just gonna keep testing. And again, soapy water is kind of your best friend, but I don't really see or hear anything. Not like this thing doesn't need a bath. I just see it all the time online. I hear it's like, oh, my truck's lazy, my truck's smoky, my truck's not running right. Let's just yell at everyone who has to do with the truck, including the person behind the laptop first. Like before anything, it's like, number one, did you boost leak your truck? Your truck's smoky or laggy, or doesn't have the right power, or not like, did you boost leak check it? Does it have boots? When's the last time you put a 10 or 11 millimeter socket on all of your clamps on your boots? I can guarantee you a very high percentage is nobody does it. Nobody does it, nobody checks it. It should honestly be like every other, like when you change your fuel filters, put a wrench on all of your clamps on your boots, because boots are a maintenance item. There's a lot of the reason why on some of the bigger high performance stuff, you end up running like dual seal O-ring clamps. I mean, even the O-rings are a maintenance thing. Like high boost applications are not a set it and forget it thing. That's all it is. I mean, you can't change my mind. Check the intercooler pipe and put this thing at top dead center. And I think I've got one more tip or trick or just something that might help you guys in this video. Quick update before we pull the valve cover. Dust inspection on, this would be the boot going into the intake horn. Not too bad. There's a little bit of something in there, but not as much as we found on the compressor cover here. So not too worried about it, honestly. Just, again, showing you what I find. One thing I will say, this battery box, I've never really done it before previously, but the last truck that I happened to see potentially, you're not really going to use this factory mount for your airbox anymore once you go to Evil Fab Whirlybird special. What I've seen before is trimming this box a little bit, and I'm not talking about like hacking off the corner of it by any means. That would just be ridiculous. But if you leave this corner here, rotate the compressor cover down just a little bit more, drop this pipe to where it's coming here. The problem with this area is on alternators that have this side plug, which is quite a few, you got this side plug to deal with and this gap. It's not very big, and that's what kind of leaves the rubbing issue. But if you massage this corner off here a little bit, make it nice, you will gain quite a bit of clearance. Drop this down. So just take that for what it's worth. I'd spend the time trying to do that because you can't really do much with this alternator plug, and that's what kind of ends up hurting these alternator plugs too. The wires get all messed up. If this right here happens to be very familiar, and there were some hacked up wires, all that stuff, just because there's a little bit of lack of clearance. But if you do that, you'll be in much better shape. One other thing that I found, now, again, I'm just showing you everything I find because the more you dive in, the more you find, and it's just things to look out for, if I'm just gonna put it like that. So we're underneath here, barring over the engine from the damper. I always make sure we're tightening, not loosening that stuff. If you look up in here, let me get this out of the way. So your balancer here, which if you guys have seen all of the installs on fluid damper, stuff like that, this rubber insert in the factory damper, try and zoom in, but can you see how the rubber is starting to distort out of the factory balancer there? That's what happens, and that's when you kind of run into issues of that rubber deteriorating, bubbling out. Something to keep an eye on for sure on this truck. We'll probably end up going to a fluid damper here pretty soon, but again, not the end of the world. You don't need to stop driving your truck, but that is what happens just with age and using the truck. So keep an eye out if you're barring your engine over. We'll set you guys back up. First time underneath the valve cover of this engine. Let's pull this cover off, see what we find, and I'll get you that last tip or trick that I think will help some of you guys on some valve lash confusion if you've been down this road, or maybe it'll help if you're going to be doing a head gasket, a cylinder head, run into an issue where maybe you can't determine the difference if it's on number 1 top dead center or number 6 top dead centers. So we are on number 1 top dead center. This, I actually have a receipt. I forgot about this. I actually have a receipt that this truck did have a head gasket done at one point, and they put in ARP 2000s, also known as 425s. Just so everyone's clear, ARP 2000s is the name of the stud, directly from ARP. 425s for street name. I just want to cough clear that up. Whoever put the valve lash set on this last, they decided to, and again, it's not really wrong, it's just my personal preference, they marked each top of each rocker as they did them, so they knew that they did them all. What I like to do is I like to mark all the valves that get done on number 1 top dead center. That way you run them through. It's just kind of easier. You rotate it around, and then what's left is everything that doesn't have a dot. If you don't want to memorize exactly what gets adjusted, but they are definitely loose. If I can zoom in here, I have my feeler gauges in here, 10 and 20, and I can wiggle that around quite a bit and even get the bridge to have quite a bit of movement. So they're definitely not as tight as I would like them, and that will quiet this thing up quite a bit, especially on the exhaust. We are loosey-goosey for sure, and that is moving the bridge quite a bit, if I can see it on camera. Now, the tip and trick that I want to give you guys, a lot of times if you are changing parts or maybe unfamiliar with valve lash or push tubes and the cam and all that stuff, and because when you change a lot of this stuff or change a cylinder head, you want to back your adjustment off, and then once you do that, you're like, well, how do I know if number 1 is loose or number 6 is loose? Well, it's really easy. You can just follow either the rocker or just the push tubes too as well, because let's just say you don't know number 1 or number 6. Look at the valves or the push tubes, when the lobe is up, you're going to be pushed up, which is going to compress the springs. I'm trying to like think about this as I talk, because I know what I'm saying, but I need to make sure I say it clearly. So you're not going to be adjusting a lash on an intake or a rocker that is compressed. So when this valve, when this bridge is compressed and this rocker arm is pushing down, that means the valves are protruding. They're open. So the longer the push tube, which would result in moving this rocker, pushing down, you are not going to be adjusting this right now. So say I didn't know if this was 1 or 6, but I can see that this is pressed down. And if you look back here, you can see that this, not that one, it's hard to see back here, I got no light. If you see ones that are pressed down like this one right here, these are easy to see. Intake on number 3 and exhaust on number 2. Well, line up in the pattern of which ones you'd be adjusting. I'm trying to say this as simplistic as possible. You would not be adjusting number 2 exhaust, and you would not be adjusting number 3 intake. So reverse math that, and that should tell you if you are on number 1 or number 6, top dead center. So again, these are loose for me to just easy and cheat, but I would know that on number 1, top dead center, not going to be adjusting this, not going to be adjusting this, so on and so forth. And you can loosen up all of your rocker adjustments and start fresh when you know you're on top dead center. Hopefully I said that clearly. Hopefully that helps. The other thing that I want you guys to pay attention to with the age of these trucks, again, 03 to 05, even 06 to 09s, this valve cover style is a little bit different. This has individual injector plugs for 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. You need to inspect, and what I was doing when I first pulled this off, it looked like, I think it was this one. It looked like there was like a little, these things will like deteriorate inside of the valve cover, and you just need to make sure just because they're underneath of this thing doesn't mean that they don't get wear and tear. A lot of times these injector harness, just with the age and then being soaked in oil all the time, again, deteriorate. So make sure you're inspect literally everything that you can see or touch, because with trucks this old, everyone wonders, you're like, oh, they're just so unreliable. It's like, they're old, man. They're old. You just gotta know how to handle the beast. So we're definitely gonna have to run through valve lash on this 100%, which you guys have seen me do, and hopefully that tip and trick kind of like explains it. This is not gonna be a very in-depth valve lash instruction. There's plenty of that stuff out there, but hopefully that helps if you're maybe a little lost on if I'm on number 1 or number 6. Well, there you have it. There is the rundown on where the Redneck Pre-Runner is currently at. Hopefully you guys found some of that stuff useful, some tips, some tricks, some things that would snag you up, some things to just check for, guys. But that's pretty much gonna wrap up this video. I could probably get this back together tonight, but we need to go search for some boots. Either that or we need to get with stainless diesel and get some new intercooler boots. I don't want to put it back together with some of that stuff, but we'll go ahead. We'll wrap up the oil change. We'll get it wrapped up enough. We can do the valve lash, but as far as like completing it 100%, we'll wait for some new parts and just make sure this thing is going back together perfect. I understand that it does take a little bit of time, a little bit of extra time, a little bit extra patience, maybe an extra day for the truck to be down to repair things correctly, but if I can recommend it, just take your time. If you need to get new intercooler boots, I mean, yeah, slap it back together if you got to use it for work or anything like that, but just kind of like make sure you got a list and just know that when things come apart, because some of those intercooler boots are still like the factory ones on the intake horn side. So we're not gonna check things and then just go back with them, even though they are good. I guess you could, but it just seems like as soon as you touch it, as soon as you loosen it, you're gonna wanna put a new, it's just rubber, right? So anyway, don't mean to beat a dead horse, but that is pretty much gonna wrap up this video. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys go to runtricks.com, get entered in the latest giveaway truck. Appreciate you guys so much, and we will see you guys in the next video very, very soon. See ya.